Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And once again, the broken record continues. Another beautiful day here in north central Washington with temperatures really not too hot today. In fact, cooler than we've seen the last couple of days, but a beautiful shot from our Rondo Sky-Fi Tower camera provided by Localtel looking back down at the Columbia River. And of course, there's Turtle Rock, the left center part of your screen, and lots of bright, beautiful sunshine out there today. And that allowed our temperatures to get into the middle 80s predominantly, and we have a 5-day forecast that really isn't going to change that much. There's Wenatchee right at the bottom of that graphic, and as you can see, our temperatures are going to remain pretty consistent throughout the next 5 days. That means through the weekend and into the first part of next week, where we will actually see a warming trend happen as we begin on Monday. A little bit breezy conditions as well. That goes for tonight, once again on Saturday, and things will die down a bit on Sunday, but the bottom line is our weather isn't going to change that much, and we are just going to remain on the mild side. And we have much more weather coming up for you a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Wenatchee School District is anticipating big budget deficits in the coming years, and the superintendent is recommending a property tax increase to deal with them. And Eastmont School District has delayed several planned building projects after failing to receive any bids. But first, we begin tonight. A Wenatchee elementary school teacher has been arrested for allegedly molesting 2 students more than a decade ago. 58-year-old Joe Els is accused of kissing the 8-year-old girls on the lips during the 2005-2006 school year. The first alleged victim told police Els kissed her several times a week. According to court documents, the girl's mother saw one of those kisses. Els reportedly admitted to police he kissed both girls. Chelan County Deputy Prosecutor Nicole Hankins said Els will be charged with aggravated child molestation in the first degree.
A roommate of one of the alleged victims contacted the school district to report, and then they reported to law enforcement, and then law enforcement followed up. We're talking about is a tongue and mouth kissing from the teacher to the student at the time, and so that's one of the things that I think might want to be clarified. And there's also a woman that's apparently been going around saying that she's one of the victims in the case. Law enforcement followed up with her, but she is not an active victim listed in our case currently. I think her name is Mercedes something or other.
The one who posted on Wenatchee Valley.
Right. She is not a listed victim in our case.
Well, that's interesting. She presented herself as though she was.
No, she's not.
The second one. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you cleared that up. Is there anything else I should know?
I think that's it for now.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Nicole, for getting back to me.
Thank you very much. All right.
Bye.
The school district said the safety of its staff and students is one of the highest priorities and referred questions about Els to his attorney, Danielle Marchand. She said Els has been placed on leave.
We can say that he will not begin the school year in a classroom. The district is also highly committed to the safety of its students and is cooperating with the criminal investigation that the Wenatchee Police Department has instituted.
In other news, the Wenatchee School District is anticipating big budget deficits in the coming years, and the superintendent is recommending a property tax increase to deal with them. At this week's school board meeting, Superintendent Paul Gordon proposed a 30-cent increase per thousand of assessed value. The district can raise its levy up to $1.50 per thousand without a public vote. Chief Financial Officer Larry Mayfield said even with staff reductions in the next few years, the district is on a path towards spending all of its reserves in order to keep up with rising costs. Gordon said the 30-cent increase would still result in a fiscally conservative budget.
We believe administration's recommendation to the budget and levy are mindful of our current and future needs of our district and is respectful of the precious local taxpayer resources. In addition, the fiscal year 19-20 budget is fiscally responsible and again is planned and intentional to ensure that we have a long-term stable budget for our district.
The board said before raising the district's levy, they want an opportunity to explain its budget problems to the public and take comments. They will do so at a public meeting next Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. at Wenatchee High School. Board member Laura Jake said it's about building trust.
On the one hand, the public elected us to take responsibility for the district and to make decisions. And so in one sense, I can see where this decision falls under the purview of the responsibility that has been bestowed upon us by the voters. On the other hand, since this is such a unique situation, and I think there is really little understanding of how this impacts the individual citizen and the individual taxpayer, I think it is important that the board sends a message to the community that we are being thoughtful and responsible with the dollars and with their trust in us, and I would be in favor in some level of community education, information, and also hearing feedback. I think it would go a long way to build trust.
Meanwhile, Eastmont School District has delayed several planned building projects after failing to receive any bids. Superintendent Garn Christensen reports in the district's August newsletter that the projects included 4 new cafeterias, 20 additional classrooms, and replacement of the high school baseball field restrooms. He says the district will put them all on hold until next year when they'll put out for rebid. The construction is part of the district's new grade level configuration at Cascade, Grant, Kenroy, Lee, and Rock Island schools. Funding for the project comes from a state class reduction grant and voter-approved capital levy. Coming up next, the city of Wenatchee appears poised to buy a prime piece of state-owned property on North Wenatchee Avenue. Chelan County road maintenance crews will be busy next week with various projects throughout the county, which will cause some traffic delays. And Wenatchee artist Larry Gay was this year's main sponsor and official poster artist for the annual Doc Holidays event in Tombstone, Arizona. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community. And that's pretty useful for everyone.
Make plans to attend the August 30th grand opening of the all-new Goodwill on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back. In other news, the city of Wenatchee appears poised to buy a prime piece of state-owned property on North Wenatchee Avenue. An official says the city wants to acquire the 2 buildings that were vacated by Washington State Department of Transportation when it moved to its operations to Old Station last year. The city's Economic Development Director, Steve King, says the proposed $4.3 million purchase will be considered at next week's city council meeting. King says the plan is for the city to retain ownership of a portion of the property as part of the planned Confluence Parkway bypass project. He says the rest of the property, including the 2 abandoned buildings, could be resold for private development. Chelan County road maintenance crews will be busy next week with various projects throughout the county, which will cause some traffic delays. The two biggest projects will be in Cashmere and the Leavenworth areas. In Cashmere, crews will be cleaning up after a downed tree on Olalla Canyon Road near milepost 3. Motorists should watch for one-lane flagger-controlled traffic in that work area. Minor traffic delays are expected. And the crew will be cleaning the ditch at the end of Eels and Tabor roads. One-lane flagger-controlled traffic also will be in that work area. In Leavenworth, meanwhile, road crews will be skip patching on Chumstick Highway from about milepost 10 all the way to Plain. Motorists should watch for one-lane flagger-controlled traffic in that work area. Minor traffic delays are also expected in that work zone. Wenatchee artist Larry Gay was this year's main sponsor and official poster artist for the annual Doc Holidays event in Tombstone, Arizona. In honor of that recognition, Gay sculpted both a 1/2 life-size and 14-inch bronze of the famous outlaw Johnny Ringo from the 1993 classic movie Tombstone. Gay was joined by Michael Bain, who played Johnny Ringo in the movie Tombstone, for several meet and greets, as well as a stagecoach ride through the OK Corral. Participants also were invited to a VIP party at Wyatt Earp's Oriental Saloon. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Some jobs are a calling. They call on something higher, something deeper, and a commitment to country that never dies. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support local veterans. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select veterans organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Gisa Veterans Affinity debit card.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, the YWCA North Central Washington Board of Directors has announced they will reconsider the closure of their thrift store in Wenatchee. Here with more details on the store's effort to remain open is NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery.
Mornings like today helped me realize really what our mission are. Came in early this morning and I have two young people that were asleep in our furniture outside the store, and one young woman had, it looked like a bucket of trash, and as she walked away she had picked it up. I was ready to throw it away and I realized it was probably everything she owned. And we still have a huge homeless problem in our area, and people need a place to stay, and they need organizations like the YWCA to help them get back on their feet from wherever their situation is.
The YWCA North Central Washington's Board of Directors announced this past weekend that they will reconsider the decision to close the organization's thrift store located in Wenatchee. The original decision to close the store came after the Board of Directors looked at all YWCA programs and were concerned about the thrift store and the ability to both run it and keep it financially stable. Board members, however, realized how important the store is for the community, and due to an incredible outpouring of support and donations, the store looks like it will not have to close its doors after all. YWCA North Central Washington Board Vice President Wendy Dalpez says the store is extremely important to the community and residents who may need more financial help than others.
The YWCA store is so much more than a thrift store. First of all, we're one of only a couple that actually 100% of the proceeds stay in our community, 100% of them. But we also help people that are trying to get back to work, gain work experience. One of the big things we do is we give away clothing to people that are in shelters. So not only our clients, but we get clients from the Catholic Family Services, from all the other shelters in our area, and people trying to get back on their feet.
A plan is currently in place to keep the store open, and Dalpez adds that although the time frame is short, she expects the store to remain open.
I do. We have a short time frame that we want to work with, and so right now we're working with a lot of volunteers. We're reaching out to the community and different organizations. We've had Confluence Rotary come in and help us volunteer, and some great people that have stepped up that have retail experience to help us look at our operation, to help us kind of turn it around. So I feel very confident about it. We're still looking at all of our programs. We are going through a transition. There's going to be some changes, but right now for the foreseeable future, I think we're going to be fine.
If you have any items such as clothes to donate or would like to volunteer your time, visit the store at 231 North Wenatchee Avenue. With NCWLIFE, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
And before we get to your North Central Washington weather forecast, I do want to thank Kyle Montgomery. He has been our intern throughout the summer, did a lot of great work for us, and now he is headed back to get his degree at Washington State University. So thank you very much, Kyle. Turning to our weather now, what another beautiful day around North Central Washington as we take a look outside our weather window. Mostly clear skies out there today with a few high fair weather clouds, but that's really about it. We did see a cooler northwest flow move into the, most of North Central Washington today, and that did keep our temperatures down somewhat, but all in all, I think most of us pretty happy with the temperatures today, which were mainly in the middle 80s, 85 unofficially here in the Wenatchee area, which is now about right. 86 is our official normal high temperature right now. 64 is where we started this morning, and that's just a few degrees above where we should be at 61. Boy, 1967 was a hot summer. 103, our record high back in 67, our third day in a row that we go back to the 60s. Record low 49 degrees in 1995. Sunrise this morning 5:58, and the sun will set tonight at 8:11. Let's take a peek now into your Saturday and see how that shapes up as we kick off our upcoming weekend. And I'll tell you what, we couldn't get into the weekend any nicer than Saturday. It will be a little bit breezy at times. 87 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 86 for Quincy, 85 in Wenatchee, also for Cashmere. Leavenworth will check in at 82, 85 in Entiat, and as we move a little bit farther north, 84 in Chelan, and a nice one for you folks in Omak for Saturday at 86 degrees. But as I mentioned, you're going to have to deal with about a 5 to 15 mile an hour wind and maybe a little gusty at times for your Saturday. Let's take a look now at the surface loop. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. It will be breezy, a lot like we've been seeing throughout the day today. A west wind between 10 and 20 miles an hour, and right dab in the middle of the state. That's where we're going to see most of the wind, and that means us here in the Wenatchee area. Also, you folks in the Waterville Plateau will see plenty of wind, and that goes for Saturday too. There you have it in the central part of the state. West wind 5 to 15 miles an hour. Temperatures a lot like today, maybe a tick or two higher than today, and then we'll continue to move up with temperatures. Sunday, we will see sunny skies, a little bit less wind. You can still see the red areas. That's where we'll see the strongest wind. But boy, by the time we get into Monday, wind will be gone, and we will see some warmer temperatures. Sunshine for Monday, large area of low pressure circulating out in the Pacific, but high pressure will keep that at bay all across the western United States. The orange and reddish colors, yeah, hot temperatures, and we will see that on Tuesday, maybe our hottest day of the 7-day forecast, where we could see temperatures 90 to 95 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny. It's going to continue to be hot all across the eastern part of Washington and all the way down the west coast, and that is going to continue right into our Thursday next week with mostly sunny skies and unseasonably warm afternoon high temperatures. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast now. Your quick lube and tune forecast. 62 degrees, about where we should be for our overnight low tonight. 86, still breezy for your Saturday. Things get a lot nicer for Sunday though. Sunny skies and mild and 86 for your Monday. That's when the heat wave begins. It will be a mini heat wave though. Sunny and warmer. 88 for Monday. 91 on Tuesday. 90 your high on Wednesday, and all the way to Thursday, mostly sunny. High temperature then at 88 8 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Grantrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Finally Friday to you. The Wenatchee Apple Sox season came to an end last night in Victoria, but not before a thrilling ninth inning finish. Trailing 5-3 in the top of the ninth, Wenatchee came back with 4 runs to take a 7-5 lead, but the Harbor Cats came all the way back on a 2-run walk-off single by Harrison Spawn. 8-7 the final. Ninth inning highlights courtesy of Go Live Broadcast, Shaw Cable, and the Harbor Cats Facebook page.
And the 1-2 pitch. Hit through the hole. No, it's a diving stop by Spawn. He's not going to have a play, so he picks it up. Bases loaded, and the tying run now in scoring position for Wenatchee. And here comes the pitch from Hilton. In the air out to right field. Back on it, Nick Adams. This is going to send him back towards the warning track. He makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Jamal. So it's 5-4, but a big second out for the Harbor Cats. Also on the back end of that play, Herrera goes from second to third. The first pitch to Tanner Smith from Tyler Hilton. This one's driven in the air, deep right field. Adams back. It's over his head and off the wall. In to score is the tying run. Simon around third. He will score. And the Apple Sox have moved ahead in the top of the ninth inning. A 2-out, 2-run double by Tanner Smith. Massive swing of the bat for Wenatchee. They lead 6-5. The 0-1 pitch lined up the middle into center field. This might score another run. Here comes Smith around third. The throw home from Playa is cut off. And it is 7-5 Wenatchee. Last week against Port Angeles, as Paxton hits a rocket out to left center. This gets down. Playa around third. He comes in to score. And the Harbor Cats are within 1. Paxton at second with a double. Wilson at third. So it's a full count to Harrison Spawn. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Gillis delivers. Spawn into right center. That's a base hit. Wilson scores. Paxton comes in to score. And the Harbor Cats are going to the West Coast League Championship Series. Harrison Spawn, the hero. And Victoria comes from behind by 2 runs in the ninth inning to walk it off.
Boy, what a finish last night. Congratulations to Victoria and Wenatchee. Tanner Smith finished the game 3 for 5 for Wenatchee with 3 RBIs. Apple Sox finished the season 30-27 in league play. That's including the playoffs, and 35-27 overall. Harbor Cats will face Corvallis in the West Coast League Championship. Nick Jovicic's 3-run home run in the bottom of the 7th was a big difference as Corvallis beat Walla Walla 6-2 in Game 3 of the South Division playoffs. Connor Redmond held the Sweets to 2 runs on 3 hits and 6 in the 3rd with 6 strikeouts. Game 1 of the West Coast League Championship tonight in Victoria at 6:35. Series will shift to Corvallis for Games 2 Saturday and, if necessary, Game 3 on Sunday. Well, the Mariners took the rubber match of that 3-game series with Detroit yesterday by a final of 7-2. Dylan Moore with a home run. Kyle Seager drove in 3 runs. Austin Nola also 3 hits on the day. Former Apple Sox Tommy Malone improved to 2-7 with the win on the mound. Seattle now in Toronto to begin a 3-game series this afternoon. Let's check the Les Schwab American West League scoreboard. I think I got that right. Luis Arraez was 3 for 5 with 2 home runs to lead Minnesota past Texas 13-6. Mike Trout 4 for 4 with his 40th home run of the season to lead Los Angeles past the White Sox 8-7. Chi Sox nearly came back, scored 4 in the top of the 9th before the Angels got the final out. Matt Chapman and Matt Olson each hit 2 home runs to lead Oakland past Houston 7-6. Well, the Seahawks had a final day of practice today before traveling to Minnesota tomorrow to take on the Vikings on Sunday. Coach Pete Carroll was asked if fans are going to see Bobby Wagner in the game on Sunday.
Well, it would be good for Bobby to get a chance to get on the field. We'll see if we can get that done. It kind of depends on how the practices go and how his work goes. He would be better off if he could play some just to get going, just to get a feel. But other than that, he's a master of what we're doing and all. He'll play well and play sharp and smart regardless because he's been involved with all of the mental side of the stuff. But it would leave him, maybe a little bit more rusty starting off, but it won't take him long.
Coach Carroll says quite a few rookies took some positive steps in the right direction in that first preseason game last week, but we'll need to follow up that with more positive steps come Sunday.
The game really benefited those guys. They really came out of it feeling better. You could sense the confidence in them and the kind of, okay, I can do this, kind of thing. It was clear from the number of guys, which is a really good sign. They're uncertain, going in, and they played real hard and they showed themselves that they're worthy of being here and all of that. And so we'll expect that they'll step forward again. Hopefully they'll be a little clearer on their assignments and do things right, and make some good choices and stuff like that, as well as play real hard.
Seahawks and Vikings Sunday on national TV on Fox starting at 5 o'clock. Finally, here's what's on tap for the sports schedule for the upcoming weekend. Hopefully the weather will cooperate for Saturday night racing at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. North Valley Mechanical Night with Bump to Pass, WMRI Midgets, Roadrunners, and get this, boat races on the asphalt. Gates open at 4:30. The races start at 6. 44th Annual O'Terry's Lads and Lasses Co-ed Softball Tournament tomorrow and Sunday at Walla Walla Point Park and Kirby Billingsley Hydro Park. And 29th Annual Slam and Jam 3-on-3 basketball tournament tomorrow and Sunday at Don Morse Park up in Chelan. And there's a big performance show Saturday and Sunday at the Indoor Arena at Appalachia. That's a look at sports news. Have a great weekend, everybody. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning, Monday morning, for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.